Why do you feel overwhelmed scrolling so much content? Well, it's just a lot of stimulus. If you're constantly having more and more and more stimulus, especially if it's constantly watching fast, scrollable media, right? Short form media, but you're also seeing a bunch of, like hyper stimulating videos because that's what gets rewarded on the algorithms nowadays. And you're also watching a bunch of content, hopefully not too much, that's just toxic. That's just people in very low, low level consciousness, you know, hating people, judging people, the typical content that you see that's getting millions of views trending. These videos, plus the constant bombardment of different videos because you're scrolling or even watching longer videos, but just video after video, it's just a lot of stimulus. And your brain, your mind, your body is not it's not really set up to deal with this. What we're set up to deal with is, watching the occasional video, going off, doing, cool things, working on skills, building a business or working on a career, working on our hobbies, enjoying our life, socializing, things like that, right? We're meant to do things that require more sustained focus and less stimulus, right? And then in those moments where we have those peak moments, there's a lot of stimulus and we can actually take it in instead of just this cheap dopamine hit that we're getting from just scrolling and watching a bunch of videos on YouTube. So where do we start, right? Why? Why is this a problem for you? Why do you keep finding yourself in this overwhelming state? Why do you keep finding yourself watching YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video without actually changing your life? And also just feeling that overwhelmed feeling a lot of the time. Well, it's that the root problem is that you don't have anything else better to do. Or at least that's how you kind of act. And on the surface level, that's really, how you think. You just don't have anything better to do. Because if you were to stop watching YouTube videos or stop scrolling, TikTok and Instagram, then what would you do? What would you do? If you have immediate answers that come to mind, oh, I do this hobby, this hobby, this hobby, then just stop the video right now and go do that. What are you waiting for? Go do that right now, right? If you know exactly what you would do, then go do it. The video can be ended right now. But for those of you who don't know what you would do, which is going to be a lot of you, then let's figure out what you can do, right? What would you do that's much better than watching video after video after video? A lot, right? It's almost... Nowadays, people they don't realize there's so much to do. You don't realize there's so much to do that's fun, that's entertaining, that requires you to engage your mind, that requires you to actually enjoy the process. And you're missing out on it. Now, what am I talking about here? Basically, hobbies, passions, things you enjoy doing for the sake of doing them. And this is what I think you should make your business or your career around as well, right? But that's a bit more long term, especially if you're in a point right now where you don't really have hobbies or you're not really following your passions at all. That's a bit further down the line. But the first step is figuring out, okay, what do I enjoy doing? What are my passions? What are hobbies that I would really enjoy doing by myself and with others? So you have both available. So that's the first step, figuring that out. Then the second step is, okay, let me go actually start doing those things to notice, do I enjoy these things, right? Maybe you haven't done them in a while. Maybe you've never tried them before, but you just think you would enjoy them. So you have to go try them and test it out and observe, do I actually enjoy this? And if you do, you keep doing them. If you don't, you change and you do another hobby, you do another passion, right? So that's kind of the basics around it. So let's actually break that down a little bit. how do you figure out what you enjoy doing? How do you figure out your passions? Because it is a bit of a cliche in self-help for people to say follow your passions, but then not give any other detail as to how to do that. It's just like, okay, cool, right? Thanks for nothing, right? That is what I've found. Like, most people say follow your passions, but then they don't teach you how to discover your passions, because most people are stuck in a place where they're like, well, I don't know what my passions are, so I don't know what to follow. So here's how you figure out your passions. It's actually pretty easy, right? You get a pen and paper, write down at the top of the piece of paper, what do I enjoy doing? And what have I enjoyed doing in the past? And then you list 50 things. 50 things, right? 50 is important because it's more than you thought you would have to write. It also will, once you try to do this process, it will challenge you. And once you finally write 50, you'll look at it and go, wow, there's so much that I enjoy that I didn't realize I enjoyed doing. It might have just been like one thing that you enjoyed doing once or twice that you kind of just forgot about, or that you've done and you enjoyed, but you just never did again. And you write that down as well. And so you make a list of 50 things. Then you can look at that list and go, okay, now I have 50 things I can do other than watching videos on YouTube, other than scrolling social media. So now we've achieved the first step, but you might now be overwhelmed by that list. Well, where do I start? What do I do? Which one do I go for? I can't do 50 of them. Or, maybe you're like, oh my God, I've got to do 50 things. No, you don't. So you get that list of 50, and now you circle the top 5 answers that you think you're most passionate about, that you enjoy doing the most. So you circle the top 5. Now you go on Google, you go on Google. I was going to say or on YouTube, but you don't need to go on YouTube right now. You go on Google and you search, let's say one of your top passions is football, right? So you haven't been playing football recently. You literally search football clubs in your area. You search it, you find the 5 football clubs, then you go to them. You just actually go and you start playing football, right? That's how easy it is. Let's say one of your other hobbies is art, right? Painting. Now you Google, okay, let's say you've already done a bunch of art in the past. Maybe you know the type of painting you want to do. Maybe you want to do oil painting. But if you don't know, you've enjoyed doing it in school in the past and you don't really know what type of art you want to do, what type of painting you want to do, you can literally Google different types of painting. And then you will research and you'll find, oh, there's so many different types of painting. And one of those things could be that you find, oh, oil painting, what's that? And you research that a little bit more. Okay, I want to test out oil painting. Then you Google, okay, what do I need for oil painting? You do your research, you buy the things, there you go. Now you can do oil painting whenever you have free time, right? So basically what I'm explaining here, and I'm baby stepping it just so that no one can comment, I don't know what to do, right? I want to make it literally airtight. You basically write down a list of 50, circle the top 5, Google and do your research on how to actually find the places to go and do your passions or what resources you need. And then now you just start doing them. And then basically you observe which ones do I enjoy the most, and you do more of them and less of the ones that you enjoy least. And then you can every now and then try a new hobby to see if you like that more. And now you have at least 5 things that you enjoy doing more than watching YouTube videos, right? And the challenge is going to be you're still going to have a habit of wanting to watch YouTube videos or scroll social media. So you have to slowly discipline yourself to want to do your passions. But then once you're doing them, you enjoy doing them and it's easy to keep doing them. So really the hardest bit is just getting yourself to the club to go do the passion, or getting yourself to sit down and paint, or whatever the passion is. It's just getting started is the hardest part. So you've got to realize all I have to do is discipline myself to do 5 to 10 minutes of this passion, and then I'm going to start enjoying it and I'm going to want to continue, right? So the rest is really easy. And that's the problem, right? And the solution to what you're coming up against. The problem is you're watching too much content, you're being overstimulated because you have nothing better to do. And the solution is figure out your passions in life, figure out your top hobbies, and start doing them. It's really that simple. And then later down the line, you can literally turn your hobbies, your passions, into your career or your business, and that's where things are going to get really interesting. But that's for another video. So I'll see you soon. Peace.